Is it a whole? I might be able to answer your question. Is it a whole potato, Kyle?
What?
Is it a whole potato?
No, sliced up potatoes.
Wrap them in tinfoil. That'll help.
We
And
do that.
and then how about what temperature are you putting them at?
450.
That's a lot. Okay, but you're not roasting it, so I mean that should be enough. Do you want them soft?
No, we don't want it. I want it like crispy. Every time.
Then you might have to cut them thinner and then leave them uncovered.
Yeah, they're too mushy.
Well, if you want them to be, you could wrap them in tinfoil at first, and then bake them, and then leave them uncovered, and then put them in the broiler, and finish them in the broiler for like 5 minutes. That'll get them nice and crispy.
We haven't been wrapping them in tinfoil. We've just been putting them in tinfoil and then like leaving them uncovered.
Yeah. So if you want like a nice soft middle and then like a crispy outside, you could wrap them in tinfoil first, and then. Yeah.
Okay.
I thought that was a very unique pick.
How we doing, everybody? It
Hola.
is, I think this is week 20 of the Picks podcast, but 22nd show.
check.
So it's no,
Yeah.
so it is technically week 22, right? So we had.
Well, no, it's technically week 21 of the show. Yeah.
No, we had,
We
remember,
did-
we did two. We did two this offseason before the year started. So we did. We did two in August, and then we started week 1 for football, and now we did 18 weeks of that, and now it's been 2 rounds of the playoffs. So this is the 22nd episode. So
Yeah, that's
welcome to episode 22 of the Picks podcast in 2025. As you guys know, every 22nd episode, we love to give you guys a good show, so you're in for a good one today. Consequently, it's been a pretty important week as the playoffs continue. We had some unbelievable games this past weekend. Wouldn't you agree, Kyle?
Yeah.
Yeah,
2.5 or 3 for 4.
Yeah,
4?
probably like 2.5. I'd say 2.5 great games. Well, definitely 2 great games. Definitely 2 great games. Which we'll probably spend the majority of the show talking about those 2 when we get around to the games. That's not to say that, if you're a Pats fan or a Texans, well, if you're a Texans fan, you're probably not too interested in talking football this week. But if you're a Pats fan or if you are a Seahawks fan, don't worry, we got some content for you. I mean, if you're a 49ers or a Texans fan, you want to talk football this week, by all means, we're here. That's what we do. So we're gonna get into all the games. We're gonna preview the AFC and NFC Conference Championships games taking place on Championship Sunday, this Sunday, coming up. Which Kyle told me there might be like 12 inches of snow hitting the northeast, our region.
Yeah.
Is that like everywhere? Or is it just us?
No, it's like I heard it's like the further south you go, the more snow. Like I heard DC is going to get slammed.
Really?
DC is supposed to get like 24 inches of snow.
Interesting. So yeah, I guess
No football going on over there though, because their games are in Denver and Seattle.
Correct, yeah. And then obviously you're not going to have to worry about the Super Bowl because NFL, domes, warm weather, yada yada. But I guess travel-wise, if you're traveling for the games, just keep a heads up. We got smacked with some snow. Look, I don't know if I'm in the minority here. I like the snow. I really don't mind it. I mean, and I know a big reason for that is just because I don't have to drive in it because I work from home. So
yeah, I was about to say like you don't have to drive in it. That's a big difference.
I represent a very small percentage.
It's like
America.
You and children like the snow. That's about it.
Me, children, and teachers like the snow. That's just people that work from home. That's just about it. So, all right, let's get into it. Let's start with this week in football as we usually do. Kyle, we got a lot of coaching news to go over. A lot of coaching news. So I'm gonna hit these all in chronological order, just how I had them written down. I'll start with Mike Tomlin stepping down. So not fired, but stepping down as head coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Tomlin, what was it, an 18-year run, 19-year run? 2-time Super Bowl head coach in 2009, 2011. 8-12 playoff record in that time. Now, he was 0-7 in his last 7 playoff games. So his last win was in January of 2017. So that's a long time ago. So I can't say I'm surprised. I think we all kind of had our inklings that this was going to happen regardless. I think we're obviously shocked a little bit more by the Harbaugh news with the Ravens letting him go last week. But Tomlin, I'm not too surprised at, just given the recent history with, the non-playoff success. I mean, look, never finished worse than 8-8, which is hella impressive.
Always had a winning record.
Always had a winning record in his entire 18-year career, which is just like unheard of, in my opinion. But I am a little. I'm not surprised at all that he was let go after yet another failed.
Well, he wasn't let go. He stepped down.
Well, it was mutual. So the thing is, him stepping down and not getting fired, right? So Pittsburgh does retain the rights to him, like contractually
for the
speaking.
next 2 years.
So meaning if he wanted to coach,
KB Grapevine heard he just wants to get in the media. He's not trying to.
Yeah, I don't know if he's trying to like leverage his positioning right now to just get like a media deal or whatnot. But if
I think he's gonna go media. I think he's gonna do. If anything, he's gonna do the Sean Payton route. He's gonna do like a
hang
year or
out
two
for
of
a year,
media,
yeah.
and then maybe after his like his like rights go up from the Steelers in 2 years, he'll coach again
Right.
for
So
like
yeah,
Tampa or something.
I think it's 2 years. But meaning if he did want to immediately coach for another team, they'd have to trade for him. Which I don't know. I don't know like what kind of compensation Pittsburgh would even be asking for in a situation like that, but it does mean that they would have to trade for him. So I kind of agree with you. I don't know if he's gonna get a job right away. I tend to think he's gonna take some time off. So I do agree with you there.
I think he's gonna be on media. I think he's.
I've heard that
on the media.
I've heard that. I've heard that he might join the panel somewhere. This
That's
is
I've heard. KB Grapevine, trusted news source, media.
more trusted
Calling
than
it
the
now.
well. Look, so more trusted than the KBTs, more trusted than I would say on par with Twitter and Instagram. I think that's pretty fair.
I think it's higher up than X, the everything app.
Pittsburgh is looking for only their fourth head coach since 1969,
That's crazy.
which is I think even more crazy than the winning record thing. It's just like how do you not have like the Jets have had 4 coaches in the last 5 years it feels like, or the Giants have had 4 coaches in the last like 6 or 7 years. It's just crazy. So good luck to Steelers fans. Whoever you get will probably be there another couple decades if history will repeat itself. Next bit of news I've got, not as big. The Chargers fired their offensive coordinator Greg Roman after their wild card loss. Not totally surprising, considering the step back I feel like the Chargers took on offense this year. But I do want to asterisk this by saying I think a lot of it had to do with Rashawn Slater and Joe Alt being out a lot of games. So I'm giving Greg Roman some slack, and I do think that he'll get another job relatively quickly. Kyle, it is VA Day in Philadelphia. The bad man is gone. Kevin Patullo, the offensive coordinator for the Philadelphia fired, is what I'm hearing, which is just
Yes, that is true. KB
asinine
Grapevine,
to
they
me.
said let go, but then they changed the wording in the post.
Which is just like crazy to me. Like they were like, no, we're reiterating like he has not been fired, which is just ridiculous to me that any guy who like messed up the offense that bad even gets a chance to be on the same coaching staff as whoever takes over. I doubt that he'll be retained. I think they're just giving whoever comes in the option to be like, hey, do you want this guy? And they're going to be like, no, we don't want that guy.
Yeah, I don't even know if you are Kevin Patullo, why you would even want to stay on the staff. Like the city of Philadelphia hates you.
Dude, you can't.
You were the fall guy for the whole season.
No, you were not the fall guy. You were very much the problem for the season. I don't want to hear this
yeah,
fall guy
both.
nonsense. He was very much a problem.
The O-line health was also a factor, but
yes, that's a smaller part of it, but I agree with you there. But yeah, I agree with you. Like the dude's not even going to be able to get a drink in the city anymore, like without being verbally harassed or having rock throws at him or something. So I guess since this is probably one of the last times we'll talk Eagles football this year, I think I mean, I know that we've talked about it already, but I've got 5 guys here who I would be interested in as the next offensive coordinator for the Eagles. Number 1, obviously, I think we've talked about this, Mike McDaniel. Now,
I think he's getting a head coaching job.
I am encouraged by news I heard today because he withdrew his name from the Browns head coaching consideration today. That is
Because why would he want to be the Browns head coach?
well, Browns, right?
Well, I've heard KB Grapevine that he might be Buffalo's head coach. Or he could be the offensive coordinator for the Titans with Robert Saleh.
Oh,
Or he could be the offensive coordinator with the Chargers. I've heard too.
I've heard a lot of things. I know that
I've heard Chargers, I've heard Titans, and I've heard Bills. I
I've
haven't heard anything with the Eagles outside
Now,
of speculation.
I've heard speculation from the Eagles, and I wanted to make a note of this because there is no, as of noon today, I assume I didn't hear anything either. So, but at least as of noon today, there's no scheduled interview for Mike McDaniel and the Eagles. So
That's correct.
I did hear that he withdrew his name from the head coaching consideration for the Browns, but no interview as of today. But I will say that is my guy. I want him very much so, and I think that the Eagles would be right back in Super Bowl consideration with a guy like McDaniels at the helm of the offense.
I'd be kind of shocked.
I would be
if we
kind
get
of
him.
too.
I would
be
love
too.
him, but I would be shocked.
Brian Dable is another name. Now they did interview Brian Dable today, so that did happen. I like Nate Shieldhouse, who is the Rams passing game coordinator. I believe he got an interview or two somewhere else. I should have wrote this down, but I didn't. But I believe he interviewed somewhere else already. Jake Peets is another name that I'm interested in. He's the Seattle Seahawks passing game coordinator. Alex Tanney, who is the Colts passing game coordinator. And then I just threw in Cliff Kingsbury just because I think Cliff Kingsbury would mesh well with that sort of Jalen Hurts running the ball first sort of situation. So
yeah, I don't even know what happened with Cliff Kingsbury. He like quit and then he like I heard his name at all.
Which is kind of interesting, right? Like,
very interesting.
I feel like somebody would have called him at this point, but it seems like you're right. I haven't heard his name in any sort of capacity recently, which is very surprising.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know.
Check with my KB Grapevine sources.
Who is your like number one guy that you would want?
Ideally, be McDaniel. I don't think it's gonna be McDaniel. I'd say Dable or who is the guy with the Colts? I like him.
Alex Tanney.
Yeah, Alex Tanney. I think that's most likely who it's gonna be.
Alex Tanney. I don't know if they've interviewed anybody else. I know there's some internal people they were looking at, but like just
I know they interviewed who was the Texans coordinator when Stroud was good.
Oh, it was.
They interviewed him. I saw
not Nick Caley. It was oh my god, I just saw this. Oh, Bobby Slowick.
Bobby Slowick. I heard of him.
I would not mind Bobby Slowick either. I really wouldn't.
Yes.
Shanahan coaching tree, give it to me all day. Mm-hmm. All right, let's move on because we got a lot of other stuff to get
I've heard Cliff Kingsbury, Titans OC. That's what I'm seeing through KB Grapevine.
Interesting.
They've been dropped there.
John Harbaugh. Now this one was up in the air for a little bit. I heard it was floating out there, but it was finally confirmed this past Thursday. John Harbaugh is the next head coach of the New York Giants. Former offensive coordinator for the Baltimore Ravens.
Presser today.
Tom Bunkin is expected to join him. Yeah, I didn't catch that at all. Did you happen to see anything?
I didn't catch it at all.
But I wish one of us.
He was very excited about Jackson.
I'm sure.
That's all I heard.
I know that he was excited about. I read some headlines, but I didn't read it or listen to it at all. But I know that he's excited about Jackson Dart because who wouldn't be at this point? And he is also excited to take the Giants from irrelevance to contender. Now, I think this is an extremely good get for the New York Giants. I think, honestly, if everything goes according to his plan, I don't see a possibility where the Giants, unless there's like major injuries or something weird happens, I don't see the Giants not being a playoff team next year. I think they have a great identity on defense in the pass rush and the defensive line. I think there's a couple of moves they need to make at secondary, specifically corner and safety. But I think if you have a healthy Jackson Dart, you have a healthy Cam Scatterbo, you have a healthy O-line, and you literally just need one other guy to pair with Neighbors, they're going to be schedule merchants next year. That's a I don't think quite to the extent the Patriots were this year, but they're going to have an easy-ass schedule next year.
I'm looking at it's not necessarily that easy.
I think so.
You got
the Eagles twice. I know that.
You got the Eagles twice, Dallas twice, Washington twice. You got Detroit. You got the NFC West. You got the AFC South. And then you got the Browns and the Saints.
That's actually not as, you know what? I kind of agree with you. That's actually not as easy as I thought it was going to be.
I mean, the Cardinals and the Browns are pretty easy wins for fourth place schedule, but your other fourth place teams, the Saints and the Lions,
and not to mention the Seahawks,
and then not to mention the NFC West and 49ers. The AFC South, which are pretty good teams. So
yeah,
but I don't know. I've been saying it though. I was like, if they get the right coach, which I think Harbaugh is,
yes,
Giants are very much in a contender for worst to first. I would not be shocked if the Giants win the NFC East. year.
Yes, I wouldn't either, which scares me.
Also, like there's the whole like regression to the mean when you like play a bunch of close games. If you like lose a bunch of close games, typically you win a bunch the next year. Like look at Chicago, for example, and look at the command, and vice versa too. Like the Chiefs and the Commanders, they obviously regressed, and the Giants, as we all know, they blew like 5 comebacks. So
they
they
blew
are
a few this year.
They blew a lot of games, and they had a lot of games that are 1 score or less. So I wouldn't be shocked that if the Giants bounce back next year with Harbaugh at the head coach.
I think it's a very real possibility. I'm sure we'll know a lot more once we get into March and obviously at the beginning of August when we start season 3.
And the draft, they do have a top. They do have
and they have a top pick, man. They have a lot of things could go right for the Giants. A lot of things could go bad for the Giants. We've also seen that before. So
big X factor is Joe Shane. You know, he's still there.
Look,
I heard the big point of contention through the KB grapevine was that Harbaugh wanted clear message that he reports directly to the Maras and not to Joe Shane. That was the whole big point of contention. Why it took I know it was announced, I think it was announced
Monday, yeah.
And then it didn't get finalized, I think, until this weekend.
It was Thursday. Thursday.
I thought it got finalized later than that.
Thursday night.
Okay.
Fairly confident. That's at least what I have written down here. But
I thought it got finalized later.
I think it was Thursday.
Oh wow.
But to your point, I do think it was good that the Giants kept Joe Shane around. I don't think he was the problem, which I've expressed before. But that's interesting that he wanted to report directly to John Marin in America.
Well, apparently that's the same organization structure he had in Baltimore.
Oh, in Baltimore?
So
okay. All right,
yeah,
that
he reported directly to the owners.
That makes a little more sense. The Packers have given Matt LaFleur a multi-year extension. I know there was some speculation he would get fired. That did not end up happening.
Yes, we did talk about that on the pod.
We did mention that already?
Yeah, we did mention that. Not the extension. We mentioned that he potentially could get fired.
Yes. Yeah, they didn't say how many years, but they said it's around 15 million years, so quite a lot from Mr. Matty over here.
Very good coach. Very bad at game management.
Yes, yeah. See, the thing is, I feel like he's a great regular season coach. Really good regular season coach. Not a good postseason coach. I don't know. I'm kind of neutral about that one. I'm not a big you make the playoffs and fire your coach kind of person in the first place. But you did blow a really, really bad. You blew a 21-3 lead.
Not the first time he's blown leads against. There was the game against San Fran 2 years ago. There was the game against the Buccaneers in the NFC Championship several years ago.
I remember that.
And there was the game against the Bears last week or 2 weeks ago.
But I think it's even worse when it's like a divisional opponent, especially a divisional opponent that's been completely obsolete for the last decade. So, I don't know. I'm kind of iffy on that one. I think he's a fine coach, but see, the thing is could you do better? Probably
not.
Probably, but maybe not. I don't know. I'll tell you who did. I
guarantee you, the grass is not always greener on the other side.
That is true.
Tails oldest time.
I'll tell you who did do really well was the Atlanta Falcons with this hire. Kevin Stefanski, next head coach of the Atlanta Falcons. I kind of liked the idea in my head, which I think you had texted me about it, and was imagine Mike McDaniel with this offense, and I was like, oh my god, that's that's a fantasy owner's wet dream to have Bijan and Drake London and Tyler Algier in that offense. But Stefanski's a solid hire. He's an offensive guy.
Oh my god.
What?
Baker Mayfield tweeted, it was just an hour ago, but I'm just seeing it now. I was just checking the news. They're talking about Kevin Stefanski had dumpster fire. Somebody tweeted that Kevin Stefanski had dumpster fire quarterback in Cleveland. Baker Mayfield, Deshaun Watson failed. Started extreme reaction. Shador Sanders sucks. And then Baker Mayfield responded, failed is quite a reach, pal. Still waiting on a text/call from him after I got shipped off like a piece of garbage. Can't wait to see him twice a year, coach.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I didn't even realize that.
Wow.
Oh, dude, Baker's going to be so motivated to win those games.
So motivated to beat the Falcons.
Oh,
and also,
my God.
The Bucks have low-key been kind of booty against the Falcons.
Yeah, they kind of have, honestly. So I think that rivalry just got a little bit more interesting. Look, I think the big topic this year is, right, I mean, Stefanski's coming off what I think to be a pretty questionable decision to start Dylan Gabriel for that long over Shador Sanders. And now he's going right into another situation where you've got a lot of decisions to make at the quarterback position. So I think it'll be interesting. It's obviously going to be the talking point, the focal point for the Falcons this offseason, I'd imagine. So I don't know. It would be interesting. I think look, you got Kirk Cousins under contract still. Obviously, you have Penix still. I don't know. That'll be interesting. I think that'll be a very important first decision that Kevin makes. So
Yeah.
we'll see. All right, next one. Sean McDermott out in Buffalo after the overtime loss this past Saturday. Kyle
Got rid of the wrong guy.
Kyle, I gotta tell you, I do not understand why the Bills did this.
They got rid of the wrong guy.
Now listen. Now, who's the wrong guy in your opinion?
Bean.
Okay, so there's two
Put
guys.
the bean away.
I think there were two guys that you could have pointed the finger at before Sean McDermott. Number one was Brandon Bean, the general manager. Number two was Joe Brady, who I feel like did really well to end the year. I think he made a lot of adjustments the second half of the year where he was kind of on the hot seat towards the beginning of the year, in my opinion. But
I think it's Bean, but I also agree that it was time for Sean McDermott to leave. I'm not upset that he was fired. I think Bean should have been fired too.
I think
promoted.
Yeah, so well, I don't agree with you because I think Bean should have been fired. I think they should have kept McDermott, dude.
No.
Look.
Wait, I gotta pull up a stat. I got a stat for you.
Well,
but I gotta find it first. Keep
five,
talking while I find the stat.
I'll give you some of my stats. 20 was it? His record is Sean McDermott's record as head coach for the Bills. 98-50 since 2017. 2 AFC Championship appearances in 2020 and 2024. I think he's by far the best coach the Bills have had since the run at the end of the 80s / beginning of the 90s, where they went to 4 straight Super Bowls. They've been pretty much obsolete, since that point up until McDermott and the emergence of Josh Allen. And I think he's by far the best coach that you've had. Yeah, he's by far the best coach you've had in 25 years. I don't get it. I really don't. I'm sorry. Almost 30 years, really.
So first stat I have is 36 coaches. I just gotta find the tweet that's cut off on the tweet that I just saw. When the hell did he tweet this? There you go.
I don't know. You tell me.
I'm trying to find it. Where'd it go? I'll just look at.
I also think that the team wasn't well constructed for a large portion of McDermott's tenure, especially like this year. And I didn't agree with the
36
decision.
coaches have won the Super Bowl. Of the 32 that were hired after the start of the Super Bowl era, here's the breakdown of what year on the job they won their first title. 4 won it in year 1, 8 won in year 2, 4 year 3, 7 year 4, 5 year 5, only 1 year 6, 1 year 7, 1 year 8, 1 year 14. Sean McDermott was on year 9 with the Bills. Statistically speaking, if you do not win within your first 5 years of being a head coach, you're not going to win one.
I think that's
also, if you
I don't really think
I
that
think they said
matters.
this stat last time, but of teams that have won a playoff game 6 years in a row, all 3 of them have multiple Super Bowls. The one team that does, there's 4 teams that have done that. All 3 have multiple Super Bowls. I think it's like the Patriots, the Chiefs, and the Cowboys. The only one that doesn't have any Super Bowls or even a championship appearance is the Buffalo Bills.
Look, who would you rather have? If you don't want McDermott,
it's the same deal as the Harbaugh thing. It's just time for a change.
No, with Harbaugh, it was because Harbaugh was there much longer. McDermott was going to be in year 9, as you said. He's only been there 8 years.
Every year they're having just horrible playoff losses. You can't. That's not sustainable.
I mean,
and I agree. Like honestly, like if you were gonna get rid of anybody, I'd rather get rid of the GM if you can only get rid of one. But I'm not upset that Sean McDermott.
I just don't like the fact. Look.
Also, I don't like the fact that it's karma for him whining about the tush push, and then he ran it like the second most. Little rat.
I mean, they were one of the two. I mean, more than half the league voted against the tush push this past year. So I don't know. I'm not a fan of it. Kyle, you seem pretty adamant about it.
I'm like, eh.
Yeah, kind of about it, I guess. All right, we got three more here. We got the Lions hiring the Cardinals offensive coordinator Drew Petzing as their
Oof.
offensive coordinator. Yeah, I don't love it, to be honest. See, the thing is with coordinators, I feel like it's very hard for like
I'm
even
pretty sure Arizona was the only team in the NFL that didn't score over 30 points
yeah, like well,
in
so
any game.
that's probably like yes, that's why I'm not like super crazy about it, but I feel like us as fans don't really know a lot about the coordinator position as much as like the organizations do and like what they're like. 'Cause I feel like every
I
organization
liked
asks.
the Cardinals like last year. Like I thought they had a decent offense with the run game and everything
Yeah.
with James Conner. And then like this year, I think they just dealt with injuries and they didn't really have a good quarterback. But it's still not great that be the only team to not score over 30 points.
That's not a good look. It's not a good look. But again,
Actually,
like
they didn't even score over 20. Oh, they scored 27. That was their season high.
what I was
points.
saying was I feel like it's like
They
from
did that
organization to
3 times, or
organization.
twice.
I feel like it's like a lot of organizations asks like they have different asks of their coordinators. You know what I mean? Like from org to org, it's kind of different. So I feel like every team is looking for something different, you know, in a coordinator as opposed to just run the offense well, right? But that being said, like my opinion stems from what I saw from the Cardinals offense this year, which was like, you know, thumbs down. So
They're good garbage
I don't know.
time.
The great garbage time team. Great garbage
Great with the
time
tight end. Maybe Sam
maybe.
Laporta for fantasy
Could
next year.
could
Keep
be.
that in mind.
Could be. All right, I got two more here. The Dolphins have signed. The Dolphins have got a new head coach, Kyle. Jeff
They did.
Hafley.
Hafley.
Former Packers defensive coordinator is now the Dolphins head coach. This is an okay hire. Again, this is just based off what I saw from Green Bay the last couple of years. They've had a solid defense since Hafley took over in 24. He was previously the head coach at Boston College University. Interestingly enough, I looked this up. Really didn't develop anybody on defense during his tenure there into a pro. I think they had like 2 guys drafted in that time frame. I think he was there like 3 or 4 years. So kind of interesting. I don't really know enough about the guy to have an informed opinion, but he seems like a good guy, and I think Green Bay's played well on defense these last couple of years with him there. So
Yeah, they were pretty. Green Bay's defense was pretty bad prior to him, so that's good.
Good hire. Good hire. We'll see.
They didn't really have that. They didn't really have that. I don't know. It's just. I think it's a culture reset from what I've heard for the
Yes,
KB
for sure.
Grapevine. That they're trying to be like a lot tougher and stuff, which I think Miami needs.
Yeah.
So I'm interested to see how it goes. I'm not entirely confident, but
Yeah. I'm kind of middle on the road on this one.
yeah.
And finally, the Titans have hired 49ers defensive coordinator Robert Saleh as
Love
their
this
next
hire.
coach. The Salinator, he's back, man. It's a 5-year deal, which is kind of a longer commitment than I would have expected, but I think they're just trying to provide some stability for Cam Ward going forward. Obviously, Saleh notoriously 20-36 as the Jets head coach from 2021 towards mid 2024. I really would have thought that the Titans would have gone in the direction of like trying to develop like Cam Ward and like bring in an
Well, it was
offensive-minded
between
coach.
Saleh and Matt Nagy through my sources.
Oh, then
And
it's
I'd
clear
much
cut.
rather have Saleh.
Oh
than
yeah,
Matt
yeah.
Nagy.
Are you kidding me? I mean, yeah. So like the thing for me is like Matt Nagy shouldn't be anywhere near a head coaching position.
Yeah.
So if those
Well,
were
yeah,
the
Matt
two
Nagy's
guys,
not even going to be the offensive coordinator for the Chiefs anymore. Eric Bieniemy.
Eric Bieniemy, yeah, Eric
Reunited with
Bieniemy's
the
back.
Chiefs.
Which is I think a great move for the Kansas City Chiefs, which is fantastic. But yeah, just on Saleh real quick. I mean, he certainly didn't demonstrate his ability to develop a quarterback with Zach Wilson. That being said, do I think Cam Ward is just more talented than Zach Wilson? Yes. But the jury's still out. We'll see. This is
Zach Wilson, I'm throwing out just because like that was the COVID year. Like almost every quarterback taken that year, except for I don't even remember who was taken first overall. Who was? I guess they're the only. I guess Lawrence.
T-Law.
Yeah, but like all the other ones, like kind of flamed out, and
Trey
like
Lance.
like Zach Wilson just got drafted that high because of the throw he had. Like he hasn't done anything since. He was the third string behind Tua and Quentin Ewers last year. I think he just was a bust.
That's fair. That's fair.
It's all like didn't really have any quarterback. So I think I like Saleh. I think he's gonna be good.
No, the 2020, bro. You're thinking of the 21 draft.
Yeah, it's the 21. No, it was the 2020 draft. No, it was the
Joe
21
Burrow.
draft.
Joe Burrow was number 1 in 2020.
Yeah. But 2021, that was like after the 2020 season that like COVID messed
21 was
You know,
21 was T-Law,
yeah,
Zach
COVID
Wilson,
messed it
Trey
all up. That was a
Lance,
weird, that was a weird draft. Throw that draft out.
Justin Fields, Mac Jones. Wow, this was a bad quarterback draft. Holy
Yeah.
smokes. Dude, literally the only one that panned out was was T-Law.
Yeah.
And I think Mac Jones has developed into a nice backup. Yeah.
That's it.
All right. Other news we've got just 2 pieces here. Adam Thielen has announced his retirement. No more third and Thielen. I'm upset. Big sad. Obviously, I think he's going to take the 1-day contract with the Vikings, I'd imagine, and have his little ceremony there. So, solid career, Adam Thielen. Definitely not a Hall of Famer, but Hall of very good. Maybe Minnesota Hall of Fame. I'd like to see that, considering he was an undrafted D2 player. Yeah. The bigger news and more relevant news, I guess I should say, Oregon quarterback Dante Moore has announced his intentions to stay at the University of Oregon for another season. He will not be going pro this year. This is noteworthy because he was in the mix to be taken number 2 overall for the New York Jets. He cited his want to compete for a national championship. I mean, I think this is a good business decision. I don't know if they're
it's a business decision.
Yeah, look, I don't know if Oregon's necessary. I'm not a big college football guy until I'm doing my scouting after the football.
I think
I'd
rather stay in Oregon than go to the Jets.
But I would also, well, you know what? He's in for a surprise when he sees who's got a top 5 pick next year. So I don't know. We'll see if that works out for Dante. I hope it does. All right, I've got a bit of injury news before we get to the games. Obviously, the headline this week and heading into the Sunday.
Unbelievable.
Bo Nix, broken ankle.
That was nutty.
It's just a freak play, man. I mean, that's all you can kind of say is just you don't see that happen very often. Unfortunately, it happened to Bo Nix, but
do you believe the conspiracies that he hurt himself celebrating? He didn't hurt himself on the field.
No, I believe I'll take the team at its word. I don't.
No, I think he did. There's like a post game interview. You can see that like he's like not putting any weight on his foot.
Well, because it's interesting because it kind of looked like an adrenaline thing, right? Because he got right back up, and I was like, bullshit. He got hurt.
Yeah, dude's on horse.
Well,
tranquilizers.
Yeah, you gotta remember like either that or it's like I need to win this football game, and that's kind of all you're thinking about in the moment. Now, I would imagine like I didn't read up on like what the actual like where in the ankle it broke, but I guess if I had to imagine where and just kind of how he fell too, right? Because he kind of fell on his side. My guess it was pretty like horizontal, because if it was like at an angle or something, I don't think he could have been standing. I'm not a medical person, so I don't know if that's entirely scientifically accurate, but that makes sense in my head. Or if it's like it's a break where it's like, yeah, you can't run or play football, but like you can stand and walk maybe. So he will miss the entire rest of the playoffs. Does not matter if they go to the Super Bowl, he will not play. Jarrett Stidham, the backup quarterback, will be starting on Sunday for the Denver Broncos. Hey, Kyle, this guy was great at Auburn once upon a time, and he's been a backup for 7 years.
Against his former team.
Against his former team, I think things happen for a reason. I think he's been a backup for 7 years. There's a reason he's stayed in the league for that long. And I don't think that, and I'll talk more about this later on, but I don't think Sean Payton's going to necessarily put him in a position to lose the game. He'll kind of neuter him a little bit. You've seen him do this with Bo Nix before in the past, where he's like, if he's having a bad game, all right, throw it away, take the short pass, check the sack, take the check down, we'll punt when we have to. So I don't think this is going to, obviously the skill gap is a thing. I haven't seen Stidham throw a pass in it's been 3+ years, I think, at this point. So, obviously I don't have the lowdown on what's on Stidham's playoff ability, but we'll see. I'm wishing him the best of luck. I know that you and I as Eagles fans have been in a position where we've had to rely on the backup quarterback. Granted, we've had, at least a little bit of the regular season to figure it out, but we'll see. We'll see.
Be very interesting.
The other big injury news: Zach Charbonnet will miss the rest of the playoffs. Initially called a significant knee injury, later revealed to be a torn ACL.
Yeah, it
Yeah, this
sucks.
is huge. This sucks. I mean, the Seahawks have relied on Charbonnet a lot, specifically towards the end of the year. I feel like you've seen a much larger role where they're really truly splitting carries. Um, I think Walker's done a very, very good job when he's needed to step up, especially for some reason against NFC West opponents, which are obviously they're playing the Rams. So, I'm wishing Charbonnet the best of luck. That's another tough injury that you got to deal with, and I expect him to miss a large portion of next year as well, unfortunately. So, we'll see. But thus is sports. Thus is sports.
This is sports.
All right, Kyle, we got some games to talk through. Take us to Denver.
Denver, we got the Buffalo Bills and the Denver Broncos. Bills lose 33-30 in an overtime thriller. If you've seen the little girl trending on TikTok who going into this game was 0-6, picking the wild cards.
Yeah.
She picked the Broncos to win, but then switched to the Bills.
Oof.
And everyone's like, "Oh my god, what does that mean?" But it clearly means overtime, and the Broncos also tore Bo Nix breaks his ankle, so both teams really lose. But this was a great game. I guess until it wasn't, but we can get to that as we go. Buffalo, honestly, overall, I thought Buffalo moved the ball really well. I think the big killer for Buffalo was the turnovers.
Oh,
Honestly,
for sure.
the end of the game, I think they had a turnover. James Cook fumbled it, gave the Broncos some life, able to go down the field, score a touchdown, take the lead. Then at the halftime, I don't know what Josh Allen is thinking. This is the Tua turn the ball over, turn over the week, because of course the Broncos win by 3 points. But Josh Allen just runs with barely any time left. He fumbles, recovered by the Broncos, giving them 3 points, and those 3 points basically won the Broncos the game. It's atrocious.
I was shaking my. I mean, the like holding the ball out like a loaf of bread. Like, what are you doing?
What are you? You're also
what are you doing?
You're cooked. What are you thinking, bud? That was so bad.
Yeah, like
so bad that it still won the award for Tua turn the ball over the week, even though he had way more turnovers. It's just that he finished the day with 4 turnovers himself.
Yeah,
5 turnovers with the team. And I mean, we're gonna get into it, but CJ Stroud was dying to get that award.
I know. Literally, you texted me, you're like, Josh Allen's got the award. And then I was like, and then
CJ Stroud was like,
he's making a push for it. He's making a damn push.
He made a big push.
Making a hell of a push for it.
Too, honestly, but we'll get to it. But the Josh Allen turnover is inexcusable. Yeah. As we've been saying, the Bills were the team that had the most pressure on them to win. Josh Allen's clearly the best quarterback in the AFC, arguably best quarterback in the whole playoffs.
Yes.
So just a horrible way to lose. I think that Denver overall, the Bills, I think clearly were the better team. I thought they were moving the ball a lot better. It's just turnovers stopped them.
Yeah.
And then Denver, when it mattered most, was able to clutch up. They stopped Buffalo on that final drive from potentially scoring. Josh Allen, I guess you could argue, missed Dawson Knox. If he hit him in stride on that final drive, that was a touchdown. And then obviously go to overtime. Broncos give the ball back to the Bills. And then we got the play that is the talk of the town. Man. What do you think, Matt? Do you think it was an interception? I think it was an interception.
So look, by rule, I think this was correctly called, right? So they asked Carl Sheffers about it after the game. He said the receiver has to complete the process of a catch. He was going to the ground as part of the process of the catch and lost possession of the ball when he hit the ground. The defender then gained possession of the ball at that point. The defensive player was the one who completed the process of the catch. The defender was awarded the ball. He did not survive. Brandon Cooks did not survive the ground. That's in the rule book. And I think Sean McDermott was talking out of his ass in the post-game press conference where he was like, I don't know. Or maybe you should talk to your quarterback and not have him turn the ball over 4 times. I think that would help.
True.
I think so. That was the one thing.
Yeah, if Josh Allen doesn't turn over in the half, the game doesn't go to overtime. Bills win on a
correct
field goal.
Well, I mean, look, yeah, you could point to the end of the half. You could point to the beginning of the second half where they gave the ball, they spotted Denver another 3 points, and the defense had to bail them out again. But specifically for this call, like I was kind of torn on it when, like, so right, jumps up, has the ball on the ground, and he's being touched. Like like if you look at the thumbnail of this, like that is literally what is going on. Now the caveat to that is I don't think he had quote unquote possession of the ball at that point. He wasn't a runner, right? This wasn't a situation where he caught the ball and turned upfield. This was him going airborne for the ball and landing with it. So I think at that point you do have to quote unquote survive the ground. And because he did not, I think I think that's fair game. So I do think that this was called correctly.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
I think it was called correctly. I think it's close and
Extremely close. Extremely
close. I also just love how the refs decided. I guess on the next drive with the Broncos, they had the two PIs argue. Like I just love how
Well,
the refs
all right.
like they seem to be doing this where they don't call anything all game. Like obviously there was a P that wasn't called, but there was on the final drive that could have set up Buffalo to win. There was a similar no call PI on Brandon Cooks.
Yeah.
That was very similar to the call on I forgot which the first PI call more so than the second.
I don't know who it was. The second one was on Tre'Davious White.
Yeah, the second one I thought like was fair, but the thing is like they weren't calling stuff like that.
They
all
weren't.
game.
So what that reminds you?
That's what bugs me. The fact that they like, were like, let them play, and then they were like, you know what? I want to decide the game.
I'll tell you what that reminded me of was the Super Bowl in 2022.
Yep.
That's exactly
very similar to the 22 Super Bowl.
By rule, is that PI? Yes. Was it called all game? No. And I just
the consistency from the refs is annoying.
I liken it to an umpire having his own individual strike zone. You can expand it, you can shrink it, but as long as you are consistent about it, in generally speaking, I won't have a problem with it. But you need, like, if you're going to sway it, like, all right, our crew, we're going to call less holding but more PI. Our crew, we're going to call less roughing the passer, but we don't want to see you hold. We don't want to see you, like, we want you to be really technical, no illegal formation. As long as you're consistent about it, I don't have an issue. In this case, I have a problem with the consistency. Not the call itself, the calls themselves, but the consistency of how the game was called. I have a big issue with. And I think that's what Sean McDermott, if he was going to bitch about it post-game, I think that's the one thing he could have bitched about, was the inconsistency in the calls. Now I do want to say, Bills fans, don't think you guys got off, or Denver fans don't.
No, you can't blame the refs. You lost because of the turnovers.
Number one, but I'm saying Denver fans don't think you guys got off scot-free here because the Bills did Bills fans did get away with holding in the end zone at one point in this game, which should have resulted in a safety, but it was not called. So it wasn't completely one-sided. There were some bad calls in that vein. But I think it's more so not the calls in this game, it's just the consistency for sure.
Yeah. But not to take away the fact that the Bills turnovers lost in the game.
Well,
Josh Allen, the Tua turned the ball over. The halftime, it was inexcusable. That is a horrible play. And with the game being decided by 3 points, that lost them the game.
I'll say this. I agree with Josh Allen. If you watched his press conference, he immediately got on, said, I have to be better in those scenarios. And yeah, I do agree. Because, and look, I love a guy who takes responsibility, especially Josh Allen, because he knows that Buffalo should have won this game. And he knows how hard it is to get back to that spot every year. And he knows that at the end of the day, right, the success of the team is ultimately back on him. And so if he can't be the guy who's going to play a clean game and make like smart decisions, look, I understand turnovers are going to happen, but I think for at least 2 or 3 of those, you could be like, what are you doing? Especially for the one right before the first half ended, for sure. At the very least. So, and look, Denver,
I'm shocked that Beam wasn't fired. Like they had if Brandon Cooks is your number one receiver, you have a receiver problem.
Yes.
Like I talked to my friend Thomas, who's going to be a guest on the pod next week, a little preview. He's a Bills fan, and he's like he's happy to live and die by Josh Allen hero ball, but he wants it to come like 10 or 5 to 10 times a game, not 40. It's like if Josh Allen wasn't on this team sucks.
Yeah.
They do not
this
make
team's
the
got
playoffs.
Problems.
This team is barely maybe 5-6 wins total. Josh Allen is the reason why the team's so good because the roster, the drafts haven't been good lately. Keon Coleman sucks. He's a little bust. He had a bad drop. Granted, he ended up getting a touchdown, but he had a pretty bad drop one play. Like I think they have no receivers.
Yeah.
The D line's kind of trash. It's like just like corpses and stuff. It's all old people. It's just like I don't see how the GM stayed.
I think the biggest
Looking
indictment.
This was honestly the worst roster Josh Allen's had.
Yeah,
And
for sure.
Every year it's gone worse.
And they arguably still should have won. Now I think it's a little different in this case because I think a lot of this game in particular is on him. But like that's just this game. I mean, to this point, right? Like it's tough, right? Because I do think that a majority of the game is on him. Now, look, Denver scored 16 points off of all these turnovers, if you were wondering. Half their points came on they split up 33. Half their points came on the heels of Buffalo just giving them the football. So I think it's a little give and take, but like also I think the biggest indictment of Bean, right, is that you finally get a guy like Stephon Diggs, all pro. You have a great connection with your literally all pro quarterback, and then you ship him off. All right, fine, but you do nothing to address the problem. As you said, Brandon Cooks, the last 4 or 5 weeks of this year, he's had to be essentially their number one. Yeah, like it's crazy. And the guy, like, look, don't get me wrong, I don't hate Brandon Cooks, but like, should he be your number one receiver in a playoff game? Probably not. Like, like, you know, and it just, you haven't really drafted a good talent young. I think Shakir's fine. Keon Coleman obviously is turning into a bust at this point, I feel like. I just think they should have done a lot more to address these issues. Now what did Denver do right?
Such team of destiny vibes, bro.
I know.
I was betting the live line so much in this game. Like anytime the Bills had a chance, like I think when they were down and they ended up coming back, I bet the live line a couple times there. I bet it on the final drive. I bet it when they got the ball back in overtime. I had a lot of money invested in the Bills.
That's unfortunate.
It all went to naught.
It's unfortunate. Now, what did Denver do right in this game? The defense is elite. I think the offense is still kind of mush. I'll tell you what, Denver, they didn't move the ball, but Denver could not run the ball worth a lick in this game.
Yeah, I don't know why. No, I don't even. They weren't really even trying to run. I think they only had like one rush attempt in the fourth quarter, which like the Bill. We've been saying all season the Bills' biggest weakness is the run defense.
Yeah.
I don't know why they didn't even like try at all.
It's baffling.
When they had the lead.
Yeah,
it's
like
kind of crazy.
Now Harvey wasn't particularly effective, but like they didn't lean on Jaleel McLaughlin any. He had 4 carries for 19 yards, by far their most effective running back. I don't think Bo Nix was particularly impressive. He was only 26 of 46. They were throwing a lot, which didn't really make sense to me. I feel like Denver was doing their best to kind of keep Buffalo in this game despite all of the turnovers.
That was one too. Like Denver wasn't really a big turnover team. They were just like
they really weren't
stuff.
Yeah,
but they were getting the turnovers in this game, and obviously like they won,
possessed the ball a lot. But... Yeah. You know, I know that they were hurt a little bit when Pat Bryant got hurt. He got a concussion and did not return. I think Troy Franklin also got hurt in the second quarter. He had a hamstring. He did not return.
Yeah, Troy Franklin got hurt.
And they really didn't get the ball to their number one guy, Cortland Sutton, until like really the fourth quarter. It was really Marvin Mims.
He didn't have a catch until the fourth quarter.
Yeah, it was really Marvin Mims. 8 catches, 93 yards, including the go-ahead touchdown with 1 minute left in regulation to put Buffalo up 3. Obviously, Buffalo would tie it and then send the game to overtime. And that all happened. But I don't know. I feel like Denver is going to have to make a lot of adjustments against New England, which we'll get into once we preview the games. But I feel like they're going to have to make a lot of adjustments in order to come out on top next week. Because I saw some kind of net thing. I love the big man touchdown from Frank Crum.
Yeah, that was cool.
That was backup offensive lineman, 6'8", 315, and he gave Denver the lead in the divisional round. That was awesome. And then I also did want to shout out Reggie Gillen, who's the fullback for the Buffalo Bills. 6 for 6 on the tush push. And
they were killing him on the tush push.
All of them were
also Tony Romo
because of Reggie Gillen.
What is wrong? He's gone garbage.
So, bro,
he called Josh Allen Mahomes during that. Like he was like, why are they running it on first down? The tush push when it like clearly. I didn't even catch it because I was like listening to the broadcast. And I was like, why are they running the tush push on first down? Because Josh Allen was like off by a yard. And then like who's the guy with Tony Romo? Much better. It's
Troy Aikman.
No, it's not Troy Aikman.
Jim Nantz.
Jim Nance is like,
Yeah.
they didn't get the first down. Tony Romo was like, what? He
Yeah.
sounded barely interested in this game. He's
So
like, I want to watch Mahomes.
I had
He's in
heard
love with
this.
Mahomes. He's
I
got
had-
a heated rivalry thing going on with Mahomes.
I had heard this last week because obviously we didn't watch the wild card live because we were at the football game, the Eagles game on Sunday. But I heard people were saying like, "Oh, Tony sounds like disinterested and whatnot." I kind of agree in this game. He was just kind of like, well, you know,
It
they
was
got
pretty bad. This is the
kinda-
worst Tony Romo commentating I've ever.
kind of a
heard.
shell of
Very
himself, man. I don't know. Got to do better, Tony. Got to do better. He'll have another chance. I think CBS is one of the games. I think it's the
bad. Yeah, CBS is the AFC.
AFC.
CBS is, and then Fox is NBC.
Yeah.
Or NFC.
All right.
NBC
Let's
got Super Bowl.
Yes, correct. Let's move on. We'll touch briefly on the absolute beatdown that the Seattle Seahawks gave the San Francisco 49ers.
Game that was
41
over in
to
15
6.
seconds.
41-6 was the final score. I gotta
13
tell you, I am not surprised. That's correct, actually. Kyle's referring to the fact that Rashid Shaheed took the opening kickoff back for a touchdown.
Earthquake.
How about Eddie Pinheiro completely like whiffing on
Tripping,
the attempt, on the attempted trip? He's just like, I'm gonna stick my leg out here and just completely miss. Actually,
that
a
was
really
terrible.
heads up play because it would have prevented the touchdown, in all likelihood. So
But it didn't.
it didn't. So fail there. Kyle, I gotta say, I'm not surprised at the outcome. I'm really not.
No, I'm not surprised either. I'm upset that I would have had more money on it, but I wasted all my money on the Bills.
I mean, what was there? I mean, if you bet 49ers props, you were out of luck. I'll tell you what, though, I was not because I put a lot of money on Purdy interception, which, again, hit again 2 times in a row. Very happy about that. So I did bet that. But I gotta say, this is, if anything, like, this is a huge indictment on the Eagles. Like, how did the Eagles lose to this team, bro?
Yeah. Did
How?
you see Trent Williams in like his post game presser? He was like, "Yeah, like they had a Super Bowl hangover from being the Eagles. They're like, you know what? Like we lost, but like we beat the defending champs. They hate the Eagles. What up? They lost the Chiefs twice in Super Bowl. I hate the 49ers.
I'm of the
My
opinion,
hatred for them has been renewed. I hate them.
I'm of the opinion that Trent Williams is.
They were my first team ever saw that beat the Eagles in the Link, and my first time. I would have been 10-0 in the Link. I hate them. I'm glad they lost.
Fair enough. Yeah, I look. The Niners are just not prepared for this game. Well,
No,
I don't even want to.
They ran out of bullets.
They ran
Their
out
team
of
was
yeah.
falling apart.
They ran out of bullets. I wouldn't even say they weren't even that prepared. It was just they just ran out of gas. Really, is all it was.
Yeah, but McCaffrey was banged up in this game.
Yeah,
they were just done. They
ran out of gas.
Jake Tongus got hurt in this game.
Yeah, Tongus got hurt.
Do you think the team's gonna want to practice in their practice facility for the Super Bowl?
I don't know,
the
man.
whole thing about the power station.
Tell me about
You've not heard about the power station?
No, wait, what?
So the theory, some reporter posted on like X, the Everything app, saying that the reason why people are thinking that the reason why the Niners get hurt so much is that their practice facility is right next to like a electrical substation, and they think that the electrical substation waves are what's hurting the players.
What's
and
the
that's
science
why,
behind
like, I don't know. There is no science. I don't know.
Oh, so
but, like people are picking up the story and running with it, and like even the players are talking about it now. They're like, we don't want to practice there anymore. So they're saying because of the electromagnetism of the substation, that's why the players get.
So it's a bunch of
which
it's a bunch
sounds like
of baloney.
BS to me.
Yeah, it's a
but
bunch
like
of baloney.
I don't know. It's correlation is not equal causation. They
I
don't practice that.
I think
these
it's a much.
NFL players are low key kind of stupid, and they're all buying it.
Look, I think it's a much simpler explanation. I think that the
they don't have good.
I think the players can't stay correct. I think
and they play very physical. The Niners play a very physical
and they do play
game in the Shanahan run scheme.
That is true. That is true. They do play a very physical style of football. So I guess that's also something. I'll tell you what though, Kenneth Walker stepped up really big in this game. 19 carries, 114 yards, three touchdowns. Dexter Lawrence played out of his mind. He had 2 forced fumbles and 1 sack. Look, the Seattle defense is so good. I don't really think everyone was like, oh, Darnold's hurt. He's got the oblique injury. He's gonna be banged up. Whatever. They can't win. I don't really think they need Darnold to be that
No,
special.
they've won games where Darnold hasn't even played well. Like this Seattle team is by far the best team in the NFL.
Does anybody remember in Week 11 when they literally
right
played
now.
the Rams and he threw 4 interceptions and they only lost
And they
by
almost
2?
won.
They literally almost won the game. Like,
Mhm.
I think people forget that Darnold doesn't need to be great. He doesn't need to be good. It's the defense, man. It's gonna look. I'm telling you right now, it's gonna be a very interesting matchup between the Rams and Seahawks. I think I'm leaning Rams at this point.
Definitely a big game.
But yes, I look. I don't know. Sam Darnold though, convincing.
Also, how
in the
loud the
NFC
Seattle
Championship
Stadium
game.
is.
Oh yeah,
Kickoff resulted in a little earthquake.
It's crazy,
But like,
man.
and
It's
also
crazy.
Seattle, I think since 2010, they've never lost a playoff game in their home stadium. They're like 10-0.
I believe it. I believe it. I believe it.
Definitely something to keep in mind.
All right, let's move on. We got 2 more games here. Kyle, you want to go to? Oh, let's go to New England, Kyle. Hey, nice jersey, by the way.
Nice jersey. Let's
nice
go.
jersey.
Woo! Pats. Love my boy Pats. As we know, we have a Pats segment on the podcast, the Drink Mate Glaze. I'll start us off with that. Our good boy Ben, friend of the pod, with our Drink Mate Glaze of the week. 3 touchdown passes, all clutch. Wish Drake would fumble a bit less, but the only turnover I really put on him was on the scramble. The others were just the Texans defense doing what they do. Great defense. Speaking of defense, oh my, did the Pats look good on that side of the ball.
Correct.
Hopefully they can continue next week against former Patriot Jared Studham. Playing backup doesn't guarantee a win, as Eagles fans are very familiar with. Very true. Pats country, let's ride.
Bro, now Ben shit talking a guy who hasn't thrown a pass in the NFL in 3 years. Are you kidding me?
Jared Ben, I know Ben growing up and stuff.
Oh man,
college growing up, but he was very high on Jared Studham, so he definitely respects Jared Studham.
Jared Studham. Okay, that's what we'll be calling him from now on, I guess. Final score is 28-16, by the way. Patriots win.
So
go ahead.
Basically, the Texans defense, historic, but thrown away because CJ Stroud's little bro ass. He's very booty cheeks. 4 interceptions, horrible. He had 1 pass in this game that was so inaccurate it tore his tight end's ACL. It's just terrible.
I don't want to laugh at that, but in theory,
it was atrocious.
Funny. But it was atrocious.
It was
really
so
was.
bad. It cost the final KBTs by 2 points because CJ Stroud was so booty. He had 2 pick sixes. Terrible.
You remember when CJ Stroud made the top 5 list?
Pick 6. Did he have a fumble pick or I don't remember.
No, they only.
He put himself on the top 5.
So this is This is like January after the wild card loss or the divisional loss in his rookie year. He goes, here are the top 5. He goes, Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, CJ Stroud, Dak Prescott, Jalen Hurts. So he put himself 3rd, bro. He has been so just booty since then. So booty.
Booty.
Look, and I don't even think it's necessarily the talent. I think it's just like the adversity thing. Like he can't fight back. Like he just gets in his own head and then he just stays there and he just remains ass. And I think that's like, I mean, look, that's the part of the game that like Tom Brady conquered. Like, was he the fastest? Was he the strongest? Could he throw the farthest? No. His superpower was being able to know what you were going to do on defense before you even thought of it.
Well, that's what people are. I mean, if you recall, CJ Stroud had such a bad score on the Wonderlic.
The Wonderlic. He did have a bad Wonderlic. You're right. I wonder
he did have a bad one. Is he smart?
Now,
also, maybe it's Ohio State quarterbacks.
I think it
everyone
could be
thought
more
he was
that.
going to break the Ohio State quarterback curse.
Yeah, no,
I think just kidding. It was a late bloomer. Of
it was
Ohio State quarterback.
It was a fluke. It was a fluke. But it's like, I think it's more of an adversity thing. It's like, how does he play when he has 4 interceptions? How does he play with, when he doesn't have the lead? How does he play on the road?
Himself a lot of money.
Oh, yeah.
For sure.
A lot
of money.
Because
he
now
cost himself at least like $100 million.
So now I think it's a very interesting decision that the Texans are going to have to make in a couple of years, right? Like whether to pick up his 5th-year option or not. I think it's genuinely a discussion. Now, is he going to be the quarterback next year? Yes, I do. I don't think it's going to be like that
I
drastic.
think they're going to pick up his 5th-year option regardless. I think you might as well.
Probably,
they're
yeah.
like give him another
Probably.
year or whatever. But I think you might bring in competition this year.
I
Maybe
think you.
sign like a veteran backup.
Yes, I
Or
think you.
maybe gave Davis Mills some more snaps in training camp.
Dude, Davis Mills ain't bad. And I'll tell you what,
Yeah,
the one
Nick
thing
Boyd.
that Davis Mill will not do, he will not lose you the football game. And what did we say earlier in the
CJ
year?
lost on the football game.
We said this earlier in the year, like, oh, should it be a soft benching situation for the Texans? Dude, Davis Mills, tell me what David, like, look, I get the
Maybe it
athletic
was soft
differences.
benching. Who knows? What was it? Concussion that he was out for 3 weeks?
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, that's a soft
Yeah,
benching.
yeah, it was. But like at the same time, it's like, dude, tell me what Davis Mills does different for the Texans offense. Doesn't turn the ball over. He doesn't turn the ball over. That's it.
Yeah.
That's literally it. Like you can talk
CJ
about
Stroud, like last week they won, but that was all defense. Like he had a horrible game last week too.
Look, you can talk about the athletic differences between Davis Mills and CJ Stroud. I'll side almost 100% with the guy who does not turn the ball over. I'm sorry.
Yep.
And like I think he was very close to being sat down in this game as well. Very, very
He
close.
should have been pulled.
Oh yeah, I think so too. But you talked about the defense too, like dude, like Will Anderson, generational talent. Oh my god, he was bullying Will Campbell all day, absolute dog. Like in the secondary is great too. Derek Stingley, Kamari Lassiter, like they have so many good players. I could
It
just
was
go on and on.
historic defense.
Yes.
By CJ Stroud.
Now I'll tell you what, the Texans could not run the football. I will give Stroud a little bit of an out because look, he did finish 20 of 47. So they asked him to throw 47 times. Despite...
Yeah, but he was like missing wide open receivers. It was terrible.
I put that a little bit more on. Let me reiterate. Stroud was terrible, and he should be crucified in the public light for this. But what I'm saying is, if you're down one possession for most of the football game, you typically wouldn't throw 47 times. So I will say the Texans' inability to run the ball definitely played a factor into a lot of the decisions to put Stroud in passing situations, which obviously he should be put in less passing situations. We're agreeing on that. But Woody Marks, 14 carries, 17 yards. They couldn't run the football, Kyle. Like how do you expect to win when you can't run the football? And also, no Nico Collins. No Nico Collins, no offense. Simple. Very simple.
True. But yeah, but like if you want to get paid the big bucks, you should be able to handle that. The defense only let up 21 points, and you also gave up 4 turnovers. Like if you gave up 4 turnovers, what was it?
This game was just sloppy in general.
It was also very snowy and stuff.
Yeah, but through 3 quarters, there were 8 turnovers between the two teams. 5 by the Texans, 3 by the Patriots. Yeah, it was crazy. I think it's funny because I actually genuinely think the player of the game for the Texans was Tommy Townsend, the punter. Like I'm not even kidding. Like he literally kept Houston in this game, right? He had before halftime, he kicked the 68-yard punt, which Houston didn't recover well, or they didn't cover it well, but it helped keep New England off the board. Then in the fourth quarter, when they were down 12 with 12 to go, 72-yard punt pinned inside the 5, and then again in the fourth quarter, down 12 still with under 5 to go, 63-yard directional towards the boundary. It was perfect. It was across in those conditions, right? So across 5 punts, averaged nearly 59 yards. And all against Marcus Jones, who I think we can all agree on was probably one of the best. He's a very good punt returner. Probably one of the best this year, right? In miserable, cold, wintry conditions, Tommy Townsend, have yourself a game. But it did not matter. It did not matter. Tell me about what the Pats did right, though, Kyle. So we got to talk about that.
I mean, honestly, they had struggling with protecting May, but I mean, May, when he needed to, clutched up. His touchdown throws were very amazing. There was the start off the game, the 28-yard touchdown pass to Mario Douglas. Honestly, that was more just like a little bit of a broken coverage, but like again, he kind of threw the ball exactly where it needed to go. Yeah, he kind of got one step ahead of the defender, to Mario Douglas for the touchdown, Pop Douglas. The touchdown that kind of sealed the game was a beautiful ball. I believe it was to Stephon Diggs. Hit him right in the breadbasket. Or that wasn't it. That was the second touchdown pass. That one was amazing. I'm trying to think. It was the last. No, it was the last touchdown.
No. Kayshon Boutte.
Look at the play by. Yeah, that was the Kayshon Boutte touchdown.
Yes.
That was sick.
Now,
the Diggs one was the one that sealed it. That one was
Yes,
But again.
I mean,
Yeah, the
dude,
Keyshawn Booty one was sick.
that was insane. I mean, like, and yes, one-handed catch. It was a beautiful throw, though. Absolutely
Yeah.
beautiful throw.
Mhm.
I'll tell you what I'm surprised at is the Patriots running attack. Now, I've been a big proponent of Travion
Hey, they ran the
Henderson.
ball pretty well.
They did. Now, I was gonna say, I've been a
Not with
big
Travion.
proponent I've been a big proponent of his though this season, but I gotta tell you, I am pleasantly surprised at how Ramondre Stevenson's been playing so far in these playoffs.
I mean, Ramondre honestly hasn't been that bad. The biggest thing
It's
with
really-
Ramondre is the fumble.
The fumbling issue, yeah,
which
right.
He had not really fumbled in these playoffs.
He's never really been an ineffective back, but like I think it's to the point now where it's like he should be the clear number one at this point. Kind of like how they've
Yeah, I think he
know,
has
the
been the number
Rams-
one these playoffs.
Yeah, oh for sure. Yeah, because he more than doubled Henderson's yard per carries in this game. He's getting obviously more touches. And he was also far more efficient in the wild card game as well. But I think you got to ride the hot hand. I think you kind of seen this already with what the Rams are doing with Kyron and Blake Corum, where you saw a lot of Blake Corum towards the end of the regular season. But now that it's playoff crime, now that it's crunch time,
Yeah,
you're seeing a
they
lot
keep-
more Kyron.
Mhm.
So I'm
Keep
very,
that
very
fresh.
impressed. I'm very, very impressed with how the Patriots have been able to run the ball. I think that's going to make Drake May's job a lot easier going forward, especially in Denver against a team that can get after the quarterback like instantaneously. I think running the ball is going to be very, very important. And look, I got it. We didn't talk about this a ton, but James Cook did have a really, really good game against Denver, in Denver. So like I think this is going to be. I think it's going to be really good. I wish Bo Nix was playing in this game. I don't know if Denver would be the favorite per se. I think
Yes, I think Denver would have. I think the hypothetical line would have had Denver as the favorite.
That's crazy.
I would have picked Denver if Bo Nix was healthy. But the fact that Bo Nix isn't healthy, I'm going to New England.
Interesting. All right, last game. And I gotta tell you, Kyle, I think this was the best game of the year. I don't think I any doubt about it. I think this was the best. This game had Bears and Rams. Rams take this one 20-17 in overtime. This game had everything. You had right off the bat some scoring. Defenses settled in. There was back and forth before halftime. The exchanging of field goals, high pressure situations. An extremely defensive second half where it felt like every yard was so crucial. You had scoring right at the end. You had a lot of scoring in the fourth quarter, and you had one of what I think to be the best plays in a losing effort since I think Jermaine Kearse in the Super Bowl. I think like in 2014 against the Patriots and Seahawks. I think this is the second to that best play in the postseason I think I've ever seen in a losing effort.
What about the Julio Jones catch?
Ooh, that's a good one too. You know what? I didn't think
that's
about
the
that.
problem, man.
That's a good one.
The thing that sucks
Because
about
they
the Bears
forget-
losing this is that this was one of the greatest plays I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
And it's going to get forgotten because the Bears lost.
I kind of agree with you. This was, we can just talk
It's a
about this right
damn
away.
shame.
So
Damn shame.
4th and 4 at the Rams 14, season on the line. You got him backpedaling, like, and you said it yourself. You said it with
This is the furthest pass completed by a quarterback behind the line of scrimmage in the next gen stats.
dude, backpedaling at the 40.
My
You backpedaled.
fiance, when we were watching this game, audibly said out loud, "Oh no, it's over."
I immediately
And then
sat up.
somehow he makes that pass. It was insane.
I'll tell you what. I was sitting on my couch watching the end of this game, and I didn't say anything audibly because I think it was just me sitting there. I didn't say anything audibly, but I sat up because my TV's on a swivel. So when I go to bed, I push the TV back towards the wall. So I had sat up in preparation to get up and do that before the play. Like I was ready. I was like, "Oh, it's over." And then I saw what was one of the most insane catches and pass. Now people are saying Cole Kmet pushed off. I don't think
it was
so.
both being handsy, bro.
I don't think so.
Clean,
yeah,
clean.
I think it's clean. I think it's fine. And I think if you called a penalty in that, oh my God, could you imagine the backlash? Could you imagine what we'd be talking about this week? Oh yeah, and you know what? I know exactly what I would say. I'd say you can't call that in that situation unless it's clear cut and obvious, because it wasn't clear cut and obvious, and you just ruined what was one of the best passes and catches of all time. But I mean, Caleb is like you got if you're Caleb in that situation, you're literally just like, there's a guy there's not a lot of defenders over there, and mind you, this is a split second situation because
There's like
there's literally
3 guys in his
there's
face. That
literally
was
3 guys,
insane.
and it's literally perfect. It's right to the corner of the end zone.
I'm so upset that like that's gonna get forgotten. That was like one of the most insane throws I've ever
I
seen
don't
in
know
my
if
life.
I don't know if I'm ever gonna forget that one.
I don't
Like,
think
that's
I will either, but I feel like I still will because they lost.
No,
and I'm
because
like, I remember how pissed I was
the
seeing the
thing.
interception, which was a terrible throw, and also terrible effort by DJ Moore. I think he's off the Bears next year. I
Yeah,
think he
so
gets traded or released.
look, I think with Caleb
I'm
on
not
the
sure what
game,
his cap head is. That's kind of like the main thing, but
I
he kind of there's kind of been low key the story on DJ Moore all year that he's been kind of like half-ass.
look, I don't look. The communication was definitely off on that particular play. I don't think Moore was expecting the ball to be thrown downfield in that situation, right? The intermediate pass game up until that point for Chicago was working so well. I don't know. I just can't understand. And this is where I will put some of the blame on Ben Johnson a little bit. I've been a big proponent of his this year, but I will say, like, why are we even running plays where you could potentially let Caleb do that? Why are we trying to push the ball downfield? Like, all you need at that point is a field goal. Because the Rams started the overtime, they went 3 and out. All you need is a field goal, and you need maybe 1 first down, and you're probably in field goal range. Because Eddie Pinheiro is going to kick the ball at least 55 yards. I don't know if they would quite attempt it if it's 60. I guess it would depend on the downage and yardage. But you're at least thinking about it, and you're at the Rams 48. Realistically, all you need is 10 yards. All you need is a first down.
Yeah, I don't know why they're doing a shot play there. That was stupid.
Like, all right, and like you see, like, but to your point, yes, I think Moore definitely should have finished his route, regardless if you're expecting the ball or not. Finish your route, you know. I do want to say on the whole, though, for the game, I think it's more on Caleb throwing the football than it was on Ben Johnson putting him in positions where he could mess up. I mean, go back to the prime example, right? The interception in the third quarter was terrible. Oh my gosh, I forget who picked it off for the Rams. I think it might have been Cam Curl. I'm not sure, but
Cam Curl. I know he got the game winner. It was
maybe it's that one then.
Durant that got the interception.
Kobe Durant. Thankfully, for the third quarter interception didn't lead to any points, but oh my god, was this a terrible throw? Like that I put on Caleb, you know, and I feel like the Bears just didn't play their best game.
The Bears' 4th down attempt and like their third down attempts.
Their third down attempts
were bad.
Their third,
like when they're gonna go for it on 4th. Obviously, they was such clearly a run and was stopped every time.
Look, I gotta tell you,
a little pass in there or something.
I gotta tell you, I would have. Well, in the second half, yes, I would have preferred to see more passes on 3rd and short, even if it is just like. Yeah, you don't even have to necessarily do play action, right? Or you don't even have to. You don't even have to get under. You don't even have to set up in the gun, right? Just set up under center, come out the same way you've been looking, and just have Caleb drop it back and just throw something short. You know, I tend to agree with you there, but I think the Rams just beat them, dude, on 3rd and like. I liken this a lot to like what the Bears' identity was on offense this year, which was run the ball, run the ball, run the ball. We're gonna have Caleb be special outside of the pocket. We're not going to have him chuck the ball downfield, and we're going to let him do him, right? We're going to run with Caleb, run the ball. And the Bears tried to do that in this game, and the Rams were just better. I think the Rams just had the advantage. They had the bigger guys, they had more push. I think it's very simply that.
I think if this game was in LA or neutral field where like snow wasn't a factor and the home field crowd wasn't, and like home field advantage wasn't a factor, I think the Rams win this game comfortably. I think the Rams were the better team. I think you're got to be very encouraged if you're a Bears fan that you were basically one interception away from the NFC Championship game in year 1 of Ben Johnson. And Caleb, honestly, like the things Caleb needs to work on are more like mechanics and processing, which are improvable. And like you obviously with the throw that he had, the intangibles and like being able to make like a hero ball play like that very few quarterbacks can do. Like only maybe the Allens and Mahomes and Lamar Jacksons can do. The fact that he can do that and his stuff to get improved on are very easily improvable. That's got to be very encouraging.
Correct.
For Bears fans.
And like I think a lot of people forget, right? Like, yes, this experience-wise, this is his 2nd year. This is really his first year with a coach that knows, and like an offensive-minded coach who knows what he's doing.
Like, good offensive coach. Like, I mean, obviously there was all the rumors that like he never even had meetings with the coaches.
Yeah, it's true. He wasn't. No, it was
horrible.
last year with Eberflus and the OC Shane Waldron wasn't reviewing film with his rookie quarterback, who you took number 1 overall. Are you kidding me? Like look, Bears fans, you will be fine. I'll tell you what, the Rams had no answer for the Bears pass rush. Zero answer. They were living rent free.
No, the Bears defense honestly played phenomenal, way better than I was expecting.
Yes, like I'll tell you what what I was surprised about in this game was I thought there would be more points scored. Number one, but I was also surprised that the Bears were able to really hone in on the Rams offense. Like it's like they were
I was
getting
shocked.
after.
I also Sean McVay's game plan I thought was really weird too. The fact that it was like snowing and stuff, and the run game for the Rams low key was working, but they like didn't run the ball a lot. They were like, how many? Stafford had like almost 50 pass. He had 42 pass attempts.
42, yeah. 42
like, why
pass
are you
attempts.
doing that in the snow? When like honestly, what was their run game averaging per clip? I mean, like Kyron Williams was averaging 4.1 a carry, Blake Corum a little less, like 3.2. But I felt like they were running the ball very effectively, especially on the last 2 drives.
Yeah, I agree. I thought there were a couple of questionable things that McVay did, specifically towards the end of the game on the penultimate drive, right? 3rd and 8, and you basically played a punt. You have Matthew Stafford. You have Puka Nacua. You have Devontae Adams.
I don't know why. Also, at the end,
and they ran the ball.
They had 2 timeouts. Why they need it?
They had 13 seconds left in the game.
Yeah, but the 13 seconds thing. You might as well give it a try. Why are you not even going to try it?
You have the number 1 passing offense in the league, and you had 2 timeouts at 13 seconds, and you play for overtime?
Yeah.
Very surprising. Very surprising, I will say. I'm surprised the Rams didn't win in regulation, obviously, for the Caleb reason, but I'm also surprised that Caleb Williams wasn't sacked in this game. So kudos to the Bears offensive line. I would have thought he got down once, but I mean, look, they had pressure. They did get after Caleb a little bit, but they didn't bring him down once. So
no,
interesting.
He had that one big scramble, I think, on that final drive. That was sick.
Yeah. So yeah. Oh, the last thing I didn't want to talk about in this game too was, all right. So I know people were making comparisons between the Devontae Adams catch that was ruled a catch, and they said he was down.
No, he made a football move.
So yeah, I think the big difference between the Cooks / McMillan interception and the Devontae Adams one, it's the same play. So Adams was a runner before he's on the ground and the ball comes out, right? So he's already established possession, whereas Cooks didn't. So I think like at that point, an incompletion's just off the table. Like it can't be an incompletion. It's either going to be a catch and he's down, or it'll be a fumble or nothing. It can't be an interception. So I think they got that one right. I think the refs overall did a pretty good job this week. I don't have too much to complain about other than the consistency in the Bills game.
The consistency with Buffalo is probably the worst.
Yeah, that by far. So like honestly, pretty good job by the officials. I think the NFL got most of what they wanted this week anyway. So I don't think it mattered too bad. But all right. So no KBTs this week. Kyle, unfortunately, we finished with a 1-21
record.
So
I will say though, there was 12. I think the final thing, there was 12 KBTs that were decided by one leg. You could argue 6 of them were decided by one play. Yeah. The CJ Stroud 4 picks. If he doesn't throw that pick 6, this past week covers. McCaffrey doesn't drop a pass that then bounces to an interception. We lose by 2 points on that leg. At the very least, they get a field goal there. We cover. The Lions penalty on Jared Goff's touchdown. We would have won that week in week 16. Week 14, I picked the Jets for some stupid reason, and Brady Cook ended up coming in because Tyrod got hurt on like the first drive. The Feast lost because I'm not excusing you for that one. I hate Kevin Patullo. 12 was like a week early pick. I didn't realize how hurt Baker Mayfield was. Kind of disadvantage of picking early. 10, Aaron Rodgers threw 2 picks. We lost by 5 points. The Steelers against the Chargers. 9, the Lions lost to number 9, JJ McCarthy.
9.
There was also a blocked field goal in that game. If that field goal's not blocked, that game could go to overtime. Lions still win. 8, Falcons somehow blow a game to the freaking Dolphins. That is crazy. Nobody thought that. Week 5, the Cardinals have a historic collapse.
All right,
Falcons won. At least I won my survivor pool. Cardinals one also helped my
that one has to be excused.
Collapse.
Yes,
That was horrible.
that one has to be excused.
Like if DeMarcado doesn't celebrate, the KBTs wins.
There's like 7 stupid things I could point to in that game that should not have
And
happened.
then week 3, when I'm at the game that I thought I was at the game that I thought I was gonna bust the KBTs. The Eagles block a field goal, which saves the KBTs. So I thought, but it turns out the Packers get a field goal blocked by Cleveland in overtime. Ridiculous. And then week 1, the Bengals Browns were like on pace. They needed like 2 touchdowns to score, and they had no touchdowns in the second. Terrible.
What I'm hearing
Terrible.
is a lot of ifs and a lot of what could have beens, and money talks, Kyle. At the end of the day.
Yeah.
That being said, we did have some bad beats this year, so I do want to give
Horrible
you
beats.
a little bit of a break. Look, we're gonna retool in the off season. We'll figure it out.
Bounce back. Regression, regression to mean like
But we don't want to
like
be
I
the
said
mean.
with the Giants and stuff.
Hold on,
we lose
hold on,
a lot
hold on.
now.
Get that.
Back.
You get that talk out of here ASAP, because we're not regressing to any mean. We live above the mean. That's where we want to live.
Back.
We want to live comfortably above the mean. That's the thing. That's the goal.
We're due for a bounce back. We're gonna
Okay.
go. We're gonna go 20 for 21.
I guess that was your one more thing, right?
No. I just.
Oh, you have a different
I have
one more
another
thing.
one more thing.
Okay, all right, go ahead. All right, then we'll hold on one more thing. I thought that was your one more thing. All right, before we get into one more thing, since there's no tease, we'll get into previewing the conference championship games. There's only 2, guys. There's only 3 more football games. I'm so excited. I can't believe we're like almost here. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy. All right, so let's just get into it. AFC Conference Championship game. Both games are going to be on Sunday. 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on CBS. The 2-seed New England Patriots getting 4.5 on the road. By
5.5. Line
5.5 now? Oh my God.
Yeah.
Getting 5.5 against the 1-seed Denver Broncos in Mile High, in Empower Field. Look, Broncos fans, Nick Foles has a message for you. Do not count yourselves out of this game. The Patriots have struggled in the past to beat backup quarterbacks in championship-type games. And that defense, with that defense and being at home, look, anything can happen. All right, so I'm not discounting Denver at this point in time. That being said, I am leaning New England.
I am also New England. Obviously, I have the jersey.
Yeah.
I think New England. The fact that the Denver's been playing with fire all year.
So let me ask you
We've
this.
kind of been talking about that the Denver's offense is a fraud, and now they don't have Bo Nix, who I think is superior to Jared Studham, even though he could be a stud. And the Broncos defense didn't really impress me last week. Obviously, they had the turnovers, but I think that was more Josh Allen messing up than it was impressive by the Broncos.
Liz, now let me ask you this. Are you like full on the Patriots bandwagon now at this point?
Yeah, I have money on the Patriots.
That is, I know a lot of Eagles fans that would take offense at that. I'm just saying.
I don't care.
I know a lot of Eagles fans.
I'm riding with my boys.
That would curse
I have
you
a lot
out.
of boys that are Patriots fans. I don't. The Eagles beat the Eagles beat the Patriots. I don't care. I love my boy Tom.
I'll tell you this from an Eagles fan's perspective, like as an independent Eagles fans perspective. I really don't hate the Patriots. I really don't.
No, I don't like the Patriots either. The only time the Patriots they beat the Eagles, but I didn't care about football then. So in my eyes, we beat the evil empire and the Patriots. So I have no ill will.
Yeah, I really
the
don't.
Patriots. They are not on my hate list.
No.
I have teams on my hate list. Actually, I'm just gonna whip them out right now. It's teams I will not root for. Obviously, Dallas is number 1. KC, hate Kansas City. Hate the Niners. I don't really like the Rams or the Seahawks for some reason. And that's probably it. I guess the Commanders and the Giants, but I don't even know that bad towards them.
I'm not rooting.
That are Giants and in-laws.
No, I hate the Commanders. I hate
Giants.
the Commanders.
I don't really like the Commanders, but my one good friend's a Commanders.
I hate them. I will never root for any NFC East team unless it benefits.
Well, yeah, I'm not going to root for them, but hate-wise, right now my top 3 hate teams. It's Dallas, which will never change.
Dallas and Giants.
I think it's Dallas, 49ers, and then
49ers over the Giants. Really?
Yeah, I can't hate the Giants. My future in-laws.
Oh yeah, well
I can never hate the Giants.
You are in a unique situation. I will give you a little bit of.
I cannot hate the Giants.
No, you have to hate the Giants. They just don't have to be number 2.
I can't hate the Giants.
Well, you have to hate them. Like
that was the closest. The closest I was to hating the Giants was when I was at the Thursday night game.
Well,
And even then, I couldn't hate it because I felt
yeah.
like the Giants have been pretty garbage since I've cared about football.
I don't know. I don't know. I have no comment on that. But well, I lost my train of thought. So now I'm thinking about hitting the Giants. Oh right, the Patriots, the AFC Conference Championship game. So I think there's two big questions you have to ask yourselves, right?
Patriots 8-0 away
Can,
on the road this
can
year. Best team on the road this year.
question number one: can Drake May take care of the football? Can Drake May take care of the football? I think this was a big. So. Well, this is how Denver beat Josh Allen, who was the best quarterback in the playoffs up at this point. So I think it's a question of whether, like, and to your point, right? He's had the fumbling issue, and I think honestly, the fumbling issue is like a way bigger concern because I think he lead the league in fumbles this year? Am I getting that right? I'd have to double check that. Drake May.
Oh, May. Oh, I don't know. I'm gonna look.
May
it up.
May was yeah. Look it up for me. But I think I'm not too far off with that. I think he was up there. So and look, the Broncos defense. You know you're getting with Broncos defense. They live in the backfield. They love doing that. So I think again, right? You gotta run the ball. You gotta run the ball. I think again.
Caleb Williams led the league in fumbles.
That checks out. Who's number
Josh
2?
Allen was second with 6. He was tied with Tua and James Cook.
Is this lost fumbles?
This is lost fumbles.
No, I want all fumbles. Fumbles.
No, that's all fumbles.
Dude, what?
Rushing fumbles. So I guess does that not count for passing fumbles?
Fumble, I don't know. Shouldn't.
I'm gonna just Google.
Like it shouldn't, as in there should be no discernible difference.
Yeah.
No, dude, I'm right. Drake May led the league in fumbles this year, 14.
Oh wow.
14. Next guy had 11.
It says Baker had 17.
Where are you getting your information from?
Drake May had 6 fumbles in the postseason, which is a postseason record. This is the Google AI.
That's why it's wrong.
Baker, does it count? Are you counting postseason?
No. Fox Sports says it's Baker. And that Drake May.
Yeah, Fox Sports, 8. I'm seeing Baker.
I don't know. He had a lot of fumbles this year, is the point.
Yeah.
So I think to counter that, right, I think you're going to have to run the football a little bit more. I think if you can get Ramondre Stevenson the football, if need be Travion, but I think, again, ride the hot hand with Stevenson. Obviously, you want him to take care of the football as well. So I think a lot of this is going to come down to the Pats run. A lot of this is going to come down to how effectively New England can run the ball. Obviously, the other part of this is Jared Stidham. And again, I'm probably not going to be betting this game a lot, just with the unknown with Stidham. I feel like there's a lot of unknowns. But can the Broncos put Jared Stidham in positions where he doesn't make game-altering decisions? I think this is going to be a very big part of this game for Sean Payton. He's going to have to design a lot of intermediate passes. And again, I could be wrong about this because I haven't seen, I haven't been watching the Broncos in at their practices. I don't really know all about, too much about Jared Stidham other than what I saw on tape at really just with New England and Auburn, which at this point it's been several years since I've seen any of that. Yeah. But I would imagine, right, intermediate passes, hand the ball off. That's another thing too, hand the ball off. The Pats' run defense is versus the Broncos' running backs because the Broncos really struggled to run the ball a lot against Buffalo. So I think that's going to be interesting. I think Buffalo, they're going to have to stuff it down the Patriots' throat a lot. I think they're going to have to run the ball a lot more than they think. But yeah, I think they're going to try and put Stidham in, favorable positions, not ask him to do too much, kind of like how the Seahawks have done with Darnold in certain games this year. So I don't know. What are your thoughts in this game? Because I feel like it can go a lot of different ways.
I think the Pats win.
Yeah, you've been vocal about that one, Kyle.
The Pats win. Pats win. Pats going to Super Bowl.
Oh man.
Sorry, Denver. Pats going to Super Bowl.
I'm leaning New England in this one for now, but something to change. Something to change until Sunday. All right. The NFC Conference Championship game Sunday at 6:30 on Fox. The Rams, the 5-seeded Los Angeles Rams versus the 1-seed Seattle Seahawks. Seahawks getting 3 at home, so they're basically telling you this is a pick 'em.
I see 2.5, but pretty close to
No, but yeah, maybe I got the opening lines, whatever. But this is part 3 between the Rams and the Seahawks. So previously, the Rams had won 21-19, as I mentioned earlier, in Week 11. The Seahawks won 38-37 in Week 16 on Thursday Night Football. And now this will
Crazy
be
game.
the 30. I mean, are we not like? Is this not going to be a one possession game? Like, how could this not be a one possession?
This is gonna be a great game.
Yeah, I don't.
Some people say this
see-
might be the game that decides the Super Bowl winner, just based on playoff odds.
I've heard a lot of that, and I don't disagree. I think these are the two best teams remaining. I think in general, I mean, look, great season by New England, great season by Denver. I think at this point, though, it's between these two teams, and I would be surprised if it wasn't one of these two teams. Now, keys to the game in this one. Rams' ability to stop the Seahawks on third down. Seahawks are the best third down team in the NFL this season. I think a lot of this game is going to come down to the Rams putting Seattle in third and long situations. I think if we see a lot of that could definitely favor the Rams. And then I think, can Seattle take away the deep ball for the Rams? So the Rams are averaging the most passing yards per game this season as a team. You're gonna have to you gotta do something about the tight ends, because like the tight ends for Los Angeles. Again, I've been a huge proponent of the McVay
12
offense.
personnel.
I love the 12 personnel, and they can do so many different things from 12 personnel too. It's not even just like, tight end seams or tight end sails or whatever. They do love their sail routes and their seam routes, but they can do a lot out of that.
I think Devontae Adams has to get more involved in this game. He didn't really do much.
Yeah, I agree too. I don't know if it's a question of whether he's healthy 100% to go or not, but I do tend to agree with you.
Yeah.
I do tend to agree with you.
I think they also got to block out the noise. That Seattle Stadium's going to be roaring.
Dude.
I think if they can't have mistakes. I think they had a lot of mistakes in that game a few weeks ago that basically decided the NFC West. I just think that if the Rams play a clean game, then I think they win. And I'm picking the Rams. I think the Rams win. Go to Seattle and win this.
So I had said when these playoffs started, who is going into Seattle and beating the Seahawks? This is the best team to do it. This is definitely I think this is the only. Let me emphasize this even further. I think this is the only team that could go into Seattle and win in the postseason.
I agree.
I think the Rams have demonstrated.
Maybe Chicago
team,
that Pope magic.
No.
They lost their Pope magic though.
I think the Seahawks would have blown the Bears out. I think they would have blown them to smithereens.
They probably would have. Yeah.
I think it would have been very similar to the 49ers game. In all honesty, but this Rams team, I feel like they've demonstrated on the whole that they're a better football team than Seattle. I don't think
Seattle lose to, because they lost to the Niners, they lost to the Rams.
And they lost one other game.
Oh, the Buccaneers. Oh,
yeah,
that was a great game.
That was a very good. That was what, 38-35? That was
a throwback game, 38-35.
Wow. What was that, like week 5 or something?
Yeah, it's like week 4, week 5. Wow.
Damn. That was when we were all saying what was it? Baker MVP. Dude, that was the peak. That was like right around the peak of Baker MVP. And that was when we thought Darnold didn't have it, right? Because Darnold threw the game-ending interception.
Yeah, the game interception to Lavonte David.
I'd have to fact check myself on this one, but I believe that was the only turnover of the game in that entire game. I think that was the only turnover.
I think that is correct.
And it came on the penultimate drive, the Seahawks' final drive. Yeah, so I just don't know. I think I'm leaning Rams at this point. I really do.
I think I'm going Rams. I think the Super Bowl we're destined to have the two MVP front runners duking it out. Super Bowl.
Look, it would be poetic. It would be poetic.
I think that's the script. I think that's the script. That's the script that got leaked by the KB grapevine. I think it's Rams Patriots Super Bowl.
It's subject to change, but I'm in agreement for you. I'm in agreement at the moment. Subject to change, in agreement at the moment, though. Yeah. All right, I guess this is a good segue, too, for one more thing. I want to start off, because there is no KBTs anymore, but I do want you guys to be on the lookout for some of my picks. I think what we call it, Matt's Moneymakers. I cleaned up last year at the conference championship. I think I gave you guys like 4 or 5 picks. and I think I hit all 5 of them, and I laid them, and I made a lot of money. I essentially paid for myself to go to the conference championship, which was awesome.
Yeah, I remember.
So I don't know if I have quite 5, but I am going to throw out some plays. I'll tell you what I'm thinking for right now is I think I'm going to bet Sam Darnold anytime interception. Previously in the 2 matchups against the Rams, he's had 6 interceptions. He had the 4 interception game, then he had 2 more when they met last time. Man's just subject to throw interceptions against this team. I don't know. And look, the Rams are a ball hawking team. I mean, I don't think anyone can deny that. So
Yeah.
Sam Darnold interception. I'm also probably going to take the over on Kenneth Walker's yards. He's had 67 plus yards in each of these previous 2 meetings. Obviously, without Charbonnet, I think that workload's only going to increase. And he's just demonstrated an ability to run the ball against a really good Seattle defense. And I think every yard's going to be really crucial. I don't think we'll necessarily see McVay go into a shell and abandon the pass, but I do think what am I saying? McDonald, I don't think you're going to see him abandon the pass per se, because he's had a really good chemistry with, between Darnold and JSN, but I do think you'll see an uptick in passes. The other game, I'm not too sure on yet. I think I'm going to take Ramondre's over on yards. The Bills demonstrated a very good ability to run the football last week. Ramondre has been really, really good in these playoffs so far, so why not ride the hot hand? I got to get another play for that game. I'll think about it, but I'm not too sure yet. But I'm gonna throw out some plays for you guys if you want to play along. So maybe not a formal post, but I'll be on the lookout for my story. So.
Yeah.
All right, Kyle, what's your one more thing? Because you said I know what it is because you told me already, and I forget.
No, it was going to be the KBT stats, but I kind of had a segue to do it. So, but I have another one more thing. Heated rivalries, talk of the town. I don't know why. My fiance is obsessed with it. The show on HBO about the hockey players.
Oh, it's a show.
It's a show on HBO about 2 hockey players, 2 young phenoms that are gay and in love.
Oh, I heard about this.
It's smut. It's just gay porn, but with extra steps. And the women love it for some reason. I don't get it.
Women love
really
gay
don't
guys.
get it, but this is it's the talk of the town.
Interesting. I don't like those shows that are all sex. I mean, and obviously I'm a straight man too. So
apparently, I say that it's just gay porn. I'm like, no, it's not. It's a love story between 2 men. And I'm like, every time I'm watching it, they're making out in a hotel room. So I don't know. Apparently, I don't know what it is. Yeah. The ladies are all over it. Sam, I think, rewatched it twice. I know, I get it infected my feed. It's the talk of the town right now. But the memes for it are very funny. You like
what's it called?
Heated Rivalry.
Heated Rivalry. Liz,
it's on HBO.
Have you watched Heated Rivalry? It's on HBO.
The gay hockey players.
It's about the gay hockey players.
Yeah, they're gay hockey players.
Yeah, have you seen it?
They're hot.
Did you hear?
No, I can't hear.
She go. Wait, come here. Give us here. Come on.
No, I feel like a freaking rat right now.
I don't care. Just come here.
No, I was just crying.
No, because.
No, I was just crying.
Okay. What about Division Round or Heated Rivalry?
No, the show I'm watching. It was just I had a moment. I mean.
She was crying for the gay guys?
No, different show. She was.
Okay. One guy is very attractive. Like they're both very attractive. Right. The one guy I don't know what he is. Like I don't know what nationality he is. If it's like.
Is it the Russian guy? The Russian guy's way hotter than the Canadian.
The Russian guy, Kyle saying.
I guess
the Russian guy's hot.
He's the one with the dark hair.
No homo.
Kyle said the Russian guy's hot.
No, the Russian guy's the blonde guy.
He's hot.
No, the Russian guy's the blonde guy.
The dark hair's the Canadian. I think he's
Canadian. The other guy's Canadian.
Yeah, the Canadian guy. The Russian guy's also hot, but the Canadian guy.
Oh, she said the Canadian guy's more attractive.
No, that's a bad take.
I don't know how this show devolved into us talking about the attractiveness of guys, but it did. That took a turn. I didn't have that.
Talk of the town.
I'll tell you what. I did not have that on the bingo card tonight. So
yeah,
interesting. Yo, did you see the national championship last night?
Yeah, I did.
This would be a good way to end the show. Dude, Mendoza, baby.
Mendoza.
Oh my God, dude.
Oakland Raider or Las Vegas Raider. Mendoza.
Oakland Raider. Dude, that 4th and 5 play to put him up 2
The
scores.
rushing touchdown.
That'll live.
Sick.
That's gonna live in my head rent free for
Put it in the
ever.
Louvie. Put it in the Louvie.
Yeah, the Louvre. Why do you call it the
The
Louvre?
Louvie.
That's not right.
It's called the Louvie.
It's called the Louvre.
The
The
Louvie.
Louvre.
Put it in the Louvie.
No, it's called the Louvre. That was
Put it in
amazing,
the
though.
Louvie.
Congratulations to the Indiana Hoosiers, winners
Love
of
Heisman
the
Mendoza. I want to get on my
2025
dynasty so bad. I want to
National
trade for him
Championship.
so bad.
Well, I assume he's going to go 101, right?
Dynasty? I think, what's his name? Love from Notre Dame is going to go.
Oh, Jeremiah
101
Love?
Dynasty.
Yeah,
Jeremiah Love.
Probably.
I think he might go 102, 103. But I want him so
Mendoza, maybe.
bad.
I forgot we were talking about.
Mendoza.
I forgot we were talking about fantasy, and so it's going to be running backs and wide receivers valued more than quarterbacks.
Yeah, but it's a super flex though, so.
Oh, that's true. That is true.
I want him so bad, but I pick 107.
Yeah, that's going to be tough for you to get Mendoza. You're going to have to give up
I'm gonna have to give up some assets.
You'll probably have to give up
Give
back
up some assets.
But
I think I
yes,
could do it.
future Las Vegas Raider, winner of the Heisman Trophy, winner of the national championship. Great turnaround. Honestly, probably one of the most unprecedented turnarounds in college football history, in my opinion. With Kurt Signetti.
Dude, Kirsten, he's a goat. He had a beer after the game. So jealous.
Fun story. My brother was in Miami this week for a bachelor's trip, and they watched the game at the Hard Rock Casino last night. And then they went to a bar or a club, I think called 11. I'm not sure the name of it, but he said that he saw Fernando Mendoza there after the game.
Wow.
So that was kind of cool. I don't know if
Mendoza.
He flew in today. I didn't get a chance to talk to him, but I gotta ask John about that. So very, very interesting.
Get the inside scoop of Mendoza.
Oh yeah.
What do you like to drink?
Yeah. Oh, that's a good question. That, you know what?
Great question.
That'll absolutely be part of my off-season analysis of when we do the off-season show. Yeah. That I'll tell you what, that tells you a lot about a guy. What he gets.
Tell you a lot about a guy. I want to know because I want to know if I should invest. If he's worth trading the bag over.
Now,
if he's drinking like a espresso martini, or if he's drinking like, I don't even know what.
Well, like your first drink, like if you're getting
he's
like
got like an IPA or something.
If your first drink's like Bud Light,
he's mature.
If your first drink's like Bud or Miller,
if he's drinking like a vodka Red Bull, I'm like, oh Jesus Christ, this guy.
Crazy energy.
This guy's dangerous. I don't know if I want him.
Yes, sir. No, if he's getting a beer, if he's getting like, well, it depends what beer, right? Because if it's like a Guinness or like,
if he's drinking a Guinness, I'm trading my whole draft.
Or like a Land Shark.
If he was drinking a Guinness in Miami.
Yeah. Well, it depends. It depends because I tell you, if it's a Bud Light or like a Miller, I'm not like crazy about the guy. I think if it's a harder beer, if it's like a Land Shark or like a Rolling Rock or something.
Miami after winning the national championship,
you gotta ask him what was your first drink, man.
Picks.
Yeah. That'd be interesting, but all right, let's wrap up. God, we went hour 40. Yeah, it's pretty good length, but
not bad.
We're going to be back next week. Obviously, we've got the conference championships, Championship Sunday, 3 p.m. and 6:30 p.m. We've got the Patriots and Broncos at 3, and then you've got the NFC Championship
we're gonna be
game.
Snowed in for these games.
Rams and Seahawks at 6:30. Yeah, apparently. So if you're planning to travel, be safe for the games. If not, stay in. Obviously, put the wipers up on your car, but stay in, watch football, have a good time. And we will be back on January 27th. 3 more shows, guys, after this, and then we're done. So 2025, yes, correct. So we'll be back in the off season, but only 3 more. I cannot wait to watch football on Sunday. I am extremely excited. So I hope you guys watch football as well. And we will be back next Tuesday. So until then, take care. And go football. I don't know.
Go football.
Go football, man.
Go Pats.
Take care, everybody.
Take care.